Back on Cards TV, we are in the pool, swimming and diving with head coach Arthur Almeida. I'm Sean Moth. Great to see you again. It's fun to talk swimming and diving, and we kind of go back. Your season really never ends, technically. You kind of swim year-round. Let's just talk about, since we spoke last, after NCAAs last year, what the team has done individually and collectively leading up to the beginning of the fall.
Yeah, you know, this is an exciting time for swimming. You know, being the Olympic cycle right now, there's a clear target in mind, and you can see how that permeates within the team. So this summer was a good summer. We had a lot of people doing some really neat things. You know, we had Carlos Almeida and João de Luca swimming at World Championships, representing Portugal and Brazil respectively, but representing UofL. And we had Pedro Oliveira swimming for Portugal at the World University Games, and Esther Povazzi, who was a Hungarian champion in 50 and 100 back for the first time to qualify for World University Games. So that was certainly one of the highlights. But we took a good group to the U.S. Nationals, and we had you know, some phenomenal opportunities to swim fast there, to get second swims at the highest stage of our sport. And you know, we had this crazy idea a couple years ago, Sean, that you know, we wanted to bring 30 kids to the U.S. Olympic trials. And at the time, if you look at the history, we had our highest number ever was 9 in 2008. So it was a little bit of a lofty goal, but you know, we felt that was something that we needed to make it, to verbalize, and we've been working on it ever since, and we're sitting at 22 right
wow
now. And it's a race against the clock. We call it the quest for 30. So it's been a fun journey to see the development. And the team has really taken that to heart as to, I want to be part of it. I don't want to be left out of this party, you know? Sure. So it's been fun.
Sure. The end of last year, as fans may recall, resulted in hosting the Big East Championships and a pair of Big East titles. Coach Albeiro and his coaching staff of the year once again. Mike Sender, diving coach of the year, and really a lot of momentum to carry you into that summer. And now off the summer, we go into the fall, and you open with Xavier. And I know that your schedule is, with all due respect to Xavier, you know, you kind of ramp it up. You try to start with a meet that gets the kids into it, and boy, they didn't shy away. They dominated.
Yeah, they took the opportunity, and that's really, when you stop and you really look at this, Sean, you know, we look at the reality of how many meets we really have a chance to showcase, and to use those meets as stepping stones towards refining things, you know, in the long run, what we want to do at, you know, at the end of the season, conference and national level. So that's kind of been in my heart for the since last year is you know, no complacency. You know, more than anything, let's use this opportunity. We've achieved some things that we're very proud of, but let's build on these. And the urgency, I think, is something that we've been passing on, that we got things to do, and this is a first opportunity, you know. And in our sport, we always say, you know, you swim in your own lane. Yeah. It's nice that there's a competition, there's other teams in beside you, but it's really about you and what you do in your lane, or whether it's in diving, you know. I mean, it's about you doing your thing. So, and using the environment to really bring the best out of you. And they did a great job of really getting up and racing hard. Plenty of, you know, internal competition, and you know, specifically the women were battling for opportunities to make it to the SMU Classic. So they had a lot to swim for.
Talk about some individual performances too. I know we had a few multi-winners on the meet against Xavier.
Yeah, you know, I was impressed, you know, talking to you a little bit off the record, I was impressed with some of our freshmen, and that was part of what we were looking at specifically is how they handle the college environment, you know. Sure. As really their first meet. And, you know, a lot of these kids have been a lot of different meets in their life, but a college dual meet is different. Yeah. You know, we're talking about swimming 3 or 4 races in a short span of time, with an added, I don't want to say necessarily pressure, but expectations, definitely. Mm-hmm. You know, you're swimming for your team, you're not swimming for yourself, and I think that certainly adds a lot to it. So I was impressed. I think that they did a really good job of learning that process, and you know, and we had some repeat winners, people that have you know, been major difference makers in the program. You know, sure. in Esther Povazzi and Pedro Oliveira had a great start of his senior year. You know, and Fanny Lillestrom, Eileen Cole. So there were people that, you know, mostly seniors, upperclassmen, and I think that's what this group blends. You know, great freshmen and great youth with some experience.
Other sports, there's no harm in having your best game, your first game of the year, but you don't necessarily want that in swimming and diving or track and field, so there's a pace to it. And your next competition that occurred this past weekend is really unique. I'd almost call it fun. Maybe that's not accurate, but,
no, it's fun.
But it's the SMU Classic,
yeah.
And it's for the women. It's 8 women that go down there, and there's a very unique format.
It is a very unique format. It's you only bring 8 swimmers, and you have to field the entire. You basically put 2 swimmers per event. So invariably, each team is going to be probably 1 or 2 people short to be able to complete the lineup. So it creates there's a premium in versatility. So that's how we had to pick our lineup, and yet make sure we had enough firepower on the relays. And so there's a little bit of a chess match in there. But I think the group that went did a fantastic job. 3 freshmen out of the 8 swimmers. I was quite pleased with that, and I think certainly one of the highlights there is Hannah Gadd, who continued to kind of taking where she left off at the end of the year and raising the bar and winning actually fairly convincingly. The 1 meter particularly, it was not even close. So I think more than anything, it's great confidence boost for her to know that she's in a different place right now. But the format is, it's almost like a prelims and finals without the prelims. Okay. You just come for the finals. Yeah. And each team establishes, you put one person's going to be in what they call the console heat and one person in the final heat. And no matter how fast you go, you're limited to the points that you would score in the console heat. So just like you would be in a prelim and finals meet. And it's a little bit lower, slower pace meet just because you have the morning. The morning's a training morning. Sure. They go in, they have we have a regular practice, and then we come back in the afternoon, and it's this great fast atmosphere there, and they do a great job. And we've been very fortunate to having been invited for the last 3 years, and hopefully we haven't overextended our welcome, and we keep coming back to it. I think they'll continue to be invited unless, of course, SMU takes offense. The Cards finished 4th. With some a really impressive field of ranked teams there. In fact, the Cards nationally ranked themselves, moved past a few teams that were ranked a little bit higher than they. So it was a big weekend for Louisville, and this upcoming week is another big one, and it's an opportunity for you, the fans, to come out to Ralph Wright Natatorium. You and Tennessee have kind of created this unique rivalry, I guess you'd call it, although some people say you need to have both teams with an even number of success to have a rivalry, but I know that it's a competitive matchup, and Thursday at 2 o'clock you're looking forward to having the Vols come here. This is one of those one of those fun opportunities in college swimming, and that's really, we had a little team meeting here yesterday, and that's what we talked about. This is what college swimming is all about. It's an opportunity to step it up. Yeah. And take a challenge of swimming a team that we have great respect for, but it's a team that we feel we can swim and dive, point by point, and that's the challenge for the group. I love being in that position because no matter what, win, lose, or draw, we're going to be better as a team, and we're going to learn who we are and how we handle things, and but it's a great atmosphere as far as really college dual meets come, and Ralph Wright Natatorium is going to be hopping. It's going to be a fun place to be. Outstanding. Well, we look forward to tracking from 22 to 30 and beyond over the course of the season and see how the Cards do leading up to defending their Big East titles and, of course, beyond to the ever more important NCAAs. Should be a great season. We're looking forward to it. Coach, best of luck to you and the squad this week. Can't wait to talk to you all weekend, all season long. Thanks for the opportunity. Almeida, you bet. I'm Sean Moth. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk next week here on CardsTV.